Hello, welcome today and every day to Kathleen's Place. Just remember, this is a safe place that you can come and share what you've been through, what you're going through, or just comment on your concerns or whatever you feel like commenting on. Please try to be respectful, as so far everybody has been. People will give their opinions. They aren't always going to be what I would expect or what I believe or what will work for me in my situation. And that's okay. Your comments are welcome. So, first off, what I'm going to touch on is we're moving in 5 days. So that's exciting and it's scary and it's just got all the emotions together with it. So my chronic fatigue syndrome, if you don't know about chronic fatigue syndrome, I have talked about it in other of my videos to try to explain it a little bit. Sorry if I say a lot, I have to get out of that habit again. So I'm going to be doing this as a one-shot video because my video editor is acting up. That's Canva that I'm using, Pro, but it's just not wanting to download the video that I wanted to download. So that's all I'm going to touch on my chronic fatigue. Well, the move and everything, I've been pacing myself, which you have to do with chronic fatigue in order to be able to keep going and not falling asleep, or feel like you're crawling, or feel like you're drunk or whatever when you're not. But so far I'm most days able to keep it leveled for the most part. That's one topic, and I am going to be using my notebook because with chronic fatigue I forget things a lot. So the one thing that I appreciate from my husband, yes, we are separated, but we both still love and respect each other. But there are things that we still have to work through that we haven't been able to work through in our marriage. So anyhow, I do have that chronic illness. I don't drive due to it, unfortunately, or I could cause an accident. But yes, I'm doing the best I can to stay on top of pacing myself with the chronic illness. And if you see me struggling to smile, a lot of times it's just because I don't have that energy. So so the packing is going decent. I'm going to do some purging to get rid of stuff, sell it, donate it, throw it, whatever, depending on what it is, of course. But overall, I'm not feeling too bad. I didn't sleep real well last night, so I look a little bit more tired. Maybe today, maybe not. I don't know. Just depends what you notice, what you don't. So I am going to mention a little bit about God and vows and divorce, which is what, excuse me, a lot of people are divorced. A lot of people are, and it's for a variety of reasons. People love God and are divorced. There are many different reasons for divorce. And yes, I believe that abuse is one, because God hates violence, whether it's mentally or physically or spiritually. He doesn't like abuse. Now, if you disagree with me on this, that's okay. You can disagree. Another one is that I'm just going to get my notes. Like I said, bad memory. Right. This is one that I shouldn't have forgot, but so 1 Corinthians 7:15 talks about the when the unbeliever decides to leave, just to let him leave. It doesn't matter if it's male or female. The other one is adultery. You do have a right to leave your spouse for adultery. If you choose to stay with your spouse after they have committed adultery, I would go to counseling and be sure that they are not going to commit adultery again. Of course, you're not going to have a 100%. You can't know 100% whether that's going to happen again or not, but hopefully they will have repented if you decide to stay with them, and that their desire is to not return in that. If you cannot trust them again, go your separate ways, start your life, go to therapy, do what you need to do to better yourself and to make your life peaceful. Sexual immorality. There's a long list of different types of sexual immorality that are given. And also, when the Pharisees were trying to test Jesus, they asked him they asked him they asked Jesus if it's okay for a husband to give their wife a certificate of divorce for just whatever reason. And Jesus said no, that was not the intention of husband and wife from the beginning. Once they are husband and wife, they become one. And so the Pharisees then say, oh, but Moses said it was okay to give a certificate of divorce, did he not? And Jesus said yes, but the only reason that he did is because the husbands had a hardening of their hearts. So in order for the wives to not have to suffer through that, they allowed the husbands to divorce their wives. So that is another reason. If you look, and that's in Matthew 19, 1 through 12. Feel free to read that. I'm not going to be putting anything up. As I said, I'm not editing this video. It's just going to be a one-shot thing. So I will give you the Bible verses. You can look them up yourself. I will be paraphrasing them. So Ephesians 5:33 basically sums up what the verses before it talks about, and that is that the husband is to love his wife as he loves himself, and the wife is to respect the husband. So in that, if your spouse's heart is hard towards you, or your heart is hard towards your spouse, then you're not, if we're talking about men, you're not loving your wives. And if the husbands, according to the Bible, are supposed to be the head of the house, a lot of men have taken that and abused it as the same as when we say that we are, the Bible says that we are in charge of the animals. They take that and abuse instead of care for. So the husband is supposed to love the wife as Christ loves the church. So if you're supposed to be loving your wife the way that Christ loves the church, then that's a huge responsibility. And if you can't love your wife that way, don't get married or let her go. And I know that if a wife is living in fear, has been abused mentally, spiritually, God will not judge you for your safety and your well-being if you do end up having to leave your husband. Now, a lot of you out there are going to disagree with me, and that's okay. You can. I still stand by what I say, and I'm not the only one. There are many pastors out there who realize that it has been taught, and men think that they can abuse their wife. So I'm just going to give you a few, 4 different preachers, doctors that have taught on specifically why it's okay to leave or for divorce. And that's the same reasons that I gave you. So one is from Pastor Mark Driscoll, Dr. David Clark. He's been to 2 different seminaries and has studied a lot. Time of Grace Ministry, and Vlad Savchuk. All of them talk about the same thing, some in different details, in different ways, in different perspectives, but all being the same response, the same goal, shall we say. Now there is also abuse and in homes. And I'm just going to give you a definition of abuse, which Pastor Mark Driscoll gave. And that is, abuse is a pattern of behavior that uses fear or force to maintain power or control. So that is just something to think about. If you are in a situation that is abusive, whether it's physical, mental, or spiritual, or sexual, please find help. A lot of times, some pastors will understand you, and other ones, or lay people, whatever it is, they might understand and they might try to help, and other ones will try to convince you to stay in that marriage, and that in itself is wrong. You do not need to stay in a marriage that is abusive. But pray, look for direction, look for help. Depending on where you live, there might be support or help or women's shelters or whatever the case is that you need. Get the help that you need. And I just want to say I appreciate you all. I love you all. Thanks for joining me today. And don't forget that you're welcome here every day. And we hope to see you at the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.